After defeating the persona-using detective, who also happens to have a magic-talking cat, don't question it, this game is Japanese, we head to the top of the tower at Ikebukuro after being told there's an even stronger dude who rules this place with an iron fist. This Gato statue-looking dude is Vince McMahon. The writhing, trembling mannequin chained in front of him is, I assume, his designated hype man and live-in gimp. Vince explains that he wishes to crush the Assembly of Nihilo, Jim Jones' faction, who are looking to bring about a world of conformity and stillness. So basically a communist utopia. As a red-blooded American, we refuse to abide by this and set out to engage in a containment procedure against the socialist Crimson Tide. Before we go, Vince teaches us about the exploitation of private contractors, allowing us to take on additional wage slaves, since labor laws typically don't apply to those who are not technically employees. We head back to Ginza, and to the Cool Kids Club of Nihilo, which has been overrun by Vince's pro wrestlers. There, we find Carl Kolchak, who has found another magic trash can. God, there are a lot of these. He explains, actually, Jim knew that the wrestlers were coming, and so he's actually in the basement of this facility where the real magic trash can is hiding behind 4 color-coded locks requiring corresponding keys. But to reach these keys, we have to navigate the cube maze. I don't have anything funny to say about this place, because oh my god, it is long and it is boring, like sex with Sting. The most interesting thing that happens is when one of Jim Jones' unionized socialist workers blocks our path by seizing the buttons of progress and dicking us around for what feels like an eternity. He also goes and steals one of the keys, copies himself using what I assume was Shadow Clone no Jutsu, and forces us to beat the ever-loving shit out of him and his clones until he surrenders the final key. This section is incredibly boring. I hate it. After getting all of the keys and heading down to Jim Jones' basement, he decides to start monologuing at me in Japanese, which thankfully I now understand after my 6-month hiatus studying the ancient tongue of Nihongo. Anyway, blah blah blah, Jim Jones is a communist, he's gathering the souls those he assimilates into his communist hive mind in order to perform great magic to turn everything into a communist utopia, yada yada. Wait, is that a goddamn communism laser? What's happening? No. Not the World Wrestling Entertainment headquarters. No, dear God, no, you monster. You cretin. They're unionizing. The WWE, it's crumbling. Where will we get our soap opera level acting paired with homoerotic violence now? Oh, the humanity. We swear revenge for the WWE, and Jim Jones forces us to fight his kinky, furry bodyguard, Osei. He is nothing after training with the great and mighty Matador. Tear gas and fist, boys. Tear gas and fist. Jim slips away during our fight with his bodyguard, and we are forced to retreat to the now unionized WWE. The sight which greets us at the once mighty World Wrestling Entertainment headquarters is a painful one. Once proud private contractors have been forced to negotiate for better working conditions, healthcare, pensions, and worst of all, dental. It's a horror show. We do run into Susan Sarandon here, who tells us she has decided that she is a Randian objectivist and wishes to live in a world ruled by the strong. Which, go off, I guess. I didn't really ask. She invites us to join her, but we are on our own path of revenge and have no time for friends now. We reach Vince at the top of his tower and see that all of the concessions he had to make cutting into his bottom line for his greedy workers has left him a husk of a man. He tells us that one day, someone worthy of his capitalist ideals will rise, but until then, he is being forced to resign among a sea of baseless rumors of professional impropriety, sexual harassment, which, granted, has plenty of evidence to back it up, and probably embezzlement. Like the Egyptian pharaohs of old, however, Vince chooses to take his loyal hype man into bankruptcy alongside him, that he might be hyped even for that great WrestleMania in the sky. Thor reminds us that Barry was also arrested when we first arrived, and since the mighty WWE has collapsed, we should probably take him with us when we leave, before he is skinned and turned into a singlet. Tempting as it is to just let Mr. Stealth Mission Bostwick starve to death, along with the other prisoners, we decide to cut the guy some slack and set him free. He is weirdly judgy, for someone who we just freed from servitude from the WWE, but whatever, bro. He tells us he wants to go and find his own personal mannequin Jesus at a nearby municipal building turned prison. Which, I mean, okay. We decided to go with him since the Master of Stealth is likely to get himself killed just walking through the desert.